Tonight, we turn our attention to one of Uganda's most widely grown crops, maize. It is grown in nearly every region of the country, traded virtually across every market. And for many households, it is both a food crop and a source of income. But is maize really the dependable business many farmers believe it to be? What determines whether a farmer earns a meaningful profit or simply recovers their costs? To help us unpack these questions, I am joined once again by one of our resident farmers and agri-business practitioners, Obed Ben. And as usual, he comes packed to the brim with insights. Good evening and welcome to another insightful episode of NTV Seeds of Gold. I am your host, Sheila Navafu, and we are proudly brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries Limited and YPA for the expert opinion.
Then also, marketing strategy. How do you position yourself? Who comes to buy? Who do you attract? You know, in life, we are flowers. The kind of scent that we release attracts the kind of insects that enjoy that kind of scent. So, if you want to walk with Obed Ben, what perfume do you wear? That will attract Obed Ben. My perfume is big acreage. If you have big acreage, you are my friend.
Maize has earned a reputation as one of the most dependable enterprises in Uganda's farming sector. Yet for every farmer who calls it reliable, there is another who has experienced unstable prices, rising production costs, or disappointing returns after harvest. So what makes the difference? Ben weighs in on the factors that can turn maize into either a reliable income stream or a risky investment. Let's hear him out.
Yes, good evening. My name is Obed Ben, the #1 agribusiness consultant in the whole of Africa and parts across. I am delighted to be here with you this evening, and thank you for watching NTV Seeds of Gold. Indeed, we are here just close. You are just watching, I'm touching. I'm touching the seed of gold, and this is what makes us exceptional. Very many places, if any, across the world, you have to plant. Before you even plant, you have to look at putting an irrigation system. But here, there are many farmers, including myself, who benefit from the rains that the Lord has given us. And this is not because we are weak. No, we are utilizing what the Lord has given us. So, maize is so reliable, so predictable, so risky. Yes, that's also a point, so risky. But it is one of the most profitable businesses you can venture in if you are doing agribusiness, not just farming. These are two different things usually people confuse. If you're doing agriculture, you're doing a culture. Planting maize is a culture. You're using a hoe, you plant, then you come back, weed with a hoe, then come back, cut, then put into a miller, get portion. No. So if you're doing it as a business, you will want to use even this. I don't know if they can see it. These flowers here, there is pollen grain here. The bees will have to give me money in the pollen grain. I will want to look at these leaves. I will want to make money from the leaves. I will want to look at the corn. I want the seeds. I want the cork. I want everything in the maize. I want the stem. So it makes it predictable. I'll be sure to know that if I get the seeds, I'll crush them into maize bran, into maize brocket. I'll plant them, I'll get them and crush them into posho or maize flour. Then I'll get these stems, I'll make silage, the leaves and the stems, I'll get silage. But before I even harvest, I'm already now harvesting. I'm already eating maize money. For your information, this is money. But many farmers don't know. How do you harvest this money? You get the factory. that produces the pollen grain here, that collects the pollen grain. So you use a factory. Which factory? The bees. They become the factory. So bees help me collect pollen grain, nectar, whatever it is that is here. They put it somewhere where I will collect it and still get money. So I'm already eating money from the maize. So that makes it very predictable that you know you have at least on this one maize stock, I have at least 3 sources of income. That is the maize itself, the corn, I have the silage, then I have the pollen grain. So if you have 3 sources of income from one stock, then it means you have a lot of money compared to this person who's only waiting for corn. 2, it is very predictable if you have the right sources of products that you use. From the right source, the pesticides. So there are pesticides, we have tried most of them, but at least the weed side like metrazine, we get those products. They are really very good. Then we get Weed Master. These are good things that we really use, and they give us the products that we want. You see, this maize is already grown. Kino kyebayita okuweeka mu Uganda. So I'm just waiting for the right time to come and harvest. I don't wait for it to dry because I want also the leaves. So it makes it very predictable that at least even if I do not have enough corn from the maize, I have the silage, which silage is going to feed my animals for almost a year. Each kilogram of silage right now costs 350 shillings. Each kilogram of silage. So even if I tried to sell, so it means I am, because I am sure this one stock can make a kilo. Okay, 2 can make a kilo. Okay, 3. Let's assume 3. How many stocks do I have here in this garden? We are already sure. Actually, some people sell the corn at 350. So, if you are a farmer and you have 2 acres, this is where it leaves you. You have no chance. You have no chance. That is where the business gets so risky that the risk is higher than the profit imaginable. You cannot go out of it. There is no way out. You are like a prisoner. To me, the broker, to me, the buyer, to me, the market. You are a prisoner. I will have to dictate all the terms. Because you have very small quantities. The only way you can survive is by selling to the nearest broker, then the nearest broker sells to another broker, then the another. So by the time the maize reaches the market, it has gone through 10 people. Now, all the 10 people, each person adds 100, 100, 100. So by the time the maize reaches the market, it is 1,300. But the 1,000 has been taken by the brokers. You, the farmer, took 300. So it is predictable and reliable only if you do big things. When I say big things, what do I mean? Not all of us have the capital. But go back, join hands. YPA has 7,800 acres of maize, but not mine. YPA means you, him, her, and him. That is it. Mwegate. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to join forces. If you don't believe in YPA, at least believe in your father. Join forces with your clan. You do big acres. 2 acres times 100 people, that is 200 acres. You still have a not very big acreage, but at least you have negotiable space. You can even rent and hire. Now, lastly, on that big question, you see, this month, most people have young maize, almost this size, around this size. But you can see I have this. This is the last part I have planted out of the 7,000. So what does it mean? You are only able to be on time if you have big acreage, so you can use machines. So we don't use anything manual. We use only machines. To use machines, you must have big. So in a nutshell, maize is reliable and predictable because there is always market only if you have big acreage. small acreage, the risk is much higher than the profit imaginable.
Now, many farmers can tell you how many acres they cultivate, but fewer can actually account for what it costs to produce each one of those acres. Yet understanding those costs is often the difference between farming for income and farming on assumption. But we've got Ben to take us through the key investments involved in producing an acre of maize and what farmers should be factoring into their budgets from the very beginning.
1 acre becomes 70% more expensive. 70% more expensive than big acreage. Let me tell you, even if I decided to buy, just buying alone will save me over 30%. Buying, I have not started preparation of land. But if I'm buying 1,000 acres, actually not even 30, it could be actually more. If I'm buying 1,000 acres and you're buying 10 acres, we can't buy the same price. It goes on and on. For plowing, if I'm plowing, there's a time we have been hiring those machines before we bought ours. We had a few, but then we decided we were planning to do away with the mechanical part of it, so that we have a designated company to handle all our mechanical issues and technical issues, for us to become vision bearers and land offerers. Now, when we call these people, when we offered 200 acres, they were charging us 110,000 per acre. Then, when we called them to cultivate 2,000 acres, they were charging us 80,000. So you see the difference of around 30,000. That is a lot of money per acre. Remember, they are using fuel, they are using the same tractors, they are using the same transport, they are using the same energy, but now they have reduced by 30,000. So it means if you bring them to cultivate for you 10 acres or below, they will charge you 160, 180. Still, those people are there today. But it is better than you using mukono. You will not meet the time. I am telling you, here I have a lot of money. I'm sure this maize will give me money, but I'm not sure if this one will give me money. So the good chance is we are at like the border. There is, here you can see the risk is too high. Here I'm like someone with a safe deposit in the bank. Why? Because I was on time. Back to the answer exactly. You need at least 1,000, around 1,000 or less, 1,000 USD per acre in management, preparation, land hiring, preparation, plowing, cultivation, harrowing, seeds, pesticides, weedicides, management and animal pest control, then security and maintenance. Up to harvesting, you need around 1,000 USD, which is around 3.8, 3.9. That is if you have big acreage. I'm doing math of everything that we use, even land hiring inclusive. Now it means if you have land already, the price goes a little bit higher, lower. Then if you have 1 acre and you're going to do it 10 acres, you find the cost of production. One, just hiring will cost you around 300,000 one season. So if you add the cultivation, unless you're doing it yourself, but if you're going to hire the people to do it for you, otekwa kuteka mu milioni ekitone nnyo 5 naye nga ate okujjamu ojja kujjamu nya kitundu. That's the problem. Because bw'osimbisa mukono, the spacing is different. You can see kasooli okuva ku ono okutuuka wali waliwo fuuti 2. Naye wano olaba I cannot even enter. The spacing is 6 inches. So the production, the amount here I will get is a lot more, like 3 times bigger than this. Because onajja kujjamu ensawo 8. Wano nze nkube ensawo 18 kwa 2. This is a big difference. Some people, go up to getting 10 tons. In Uganda, people get 1 ton. From 1 acre, they get 1 ton. 1 ton. 1 ton like this. Others will get 10 tons. If we put an intensive system of farming, we get money. You be sure. Now the problem is here in the cattle corridor, you cannot get enough water. Just like those people along the River Nile, those people in ginger places, they should be making a lot of money because they have a permanent source of water. But here we have to drill. So drilling the water from underground is not enough to do the irrigation for this big acreage. We only support the rains, that when rain takes a week without coming, then we sprinkle around. But we cannot give it the water it needs. Had we had water, that is why we're going to places like Tanzania, we're going to Zambia, where the land along the rivers and the lakes is still vacant. Had we had water here, we would be making at least 15 tons per acre. 15. Right now we are making between 8 and 9. 8 and 9, 10 there from 1 acre. So the difference is huge. You're going to spend 5 million, 4.5 minimum on 1 acre, 10 acres and below if you're using manual laborers. And at the end of the season, you're going to make losses. Why? Because by the time you are harvesting, for us, we are planting again for the next season. You're going to take long to plant. The last seed to go in the soil will take you about 2 months. Already the season has left you. You don't have money for irrigation. Then when you're harvesting, you're going to harvest when the rains have come already again. Then the maize will get spoiled. So you would have gotten maybe 3 million, but it is also reduced by the fact that you have missed the timing. So you end up losing everything. 3 million becomes 2.5. So you become a loser indefinitely. And also, ladies and gentlemen, 1 acre is more expensive than 1,000 acres. It is hard to understand, but that is the truth. Do it big, save a lot of money. Do it small, make losses, and hate agriculture.
We're going to take a very, very short commercial break, but when we return, we'll explore what separates consistently profitable maize farmers from those who struggle season after season, and why marketing may be just as important as production. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Now, this show is proudly brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries Limited. Now, before the break, Obed was highlighting some of the hidden ways farmers lose money in maize production. Now, let's talk about what success looks like. What are the habits, decisions, or systems that separate farmers who simply break even from those who consistently make maize work as a business?
The biggest issue with us small farmers, we do not have records, we do not have accountants, we do not have auditors. So we never know if we are making losses or profits. When you get 5 million from 1 acre, you celebrate, but forgetting you invested 5.5. Ha! Season yenu yankoledde nno omanyinga najjemu million mukaga. But you invested 5.9. So you have 100,000 as magoba. You get my point. So if it was 100,000 USD, that is money. But it's 100,000 shillings. Uganda shillings, not even Kenya shillings. So ladies and gentlemen, you need to really do the mathing. And the mathing should math.
Now, not every loss comes from drought, pests, or poor market prices. Some of the biggest setbacks are small mistakes that quietly chip away at a farmer's earnings throughout the season. So where are farmers losing money without realizing it? Well, Ben highlights some of these common practices that can significantly reduce profits long before the maize even reaches the markets.
When I see this maize, it makes me forget all the investment I've made. So if I get 100 million from maybe 1 square mile, I'll be like, yeah. But when I go back to the auditors and to the accountants, I'll be like, huh? So you mean we invested 69 and we have only gotten 100? Which means the profit is 31. Then 31, you have to do this A, B, C, D, and Z, and Y. Ladies and gentlemen, us small farmers are losing money in around 3 things. 1, we are too confident. So we assume we know all the seasons. Kastola bechelenga chikutao kati enkube genda kutonya. Long gone are the days, my friend. We are now going to rely big time on our plans. Do you have experts? Weather forecast, have you followed that information? Whether the global warming is now a big thing, weather is changing every now and then, and for you, you're following it. So we assume we know. And this assumption makes us lose money. Number 2, we assume we know the numbers, the figures. The moment you use the word nga, you have lost money already. You can't say nga. No, money is money, not nga. We don't assume you spent maybe 10 million. No, we spent exactly 10 million, not maybe 10 million. So the moment you use the maybe, around. What is around? Is this a roundabout? We are in business, not around. Around 1,000 USD, around. No. You must have exact figures. Maybe if you say, I'm not sure of the exact figure, but it should be around this, but I can check and find the exact figure. If you have a source of the exact figure. So they don't write because they assume they know everything. And you don't know. That is the truth. You don't know the exact figures. So write them. If you don't have, personally, I don't want to write those things. I hate writing. Yes, because it delays the process. Now what you do, give the money to someone, let that money get authority from you every time they are spending. For them, they will write. That is what I did. You give the mandate of spending to someone. Maybe an accountant, maybe your secretary, whoever it is. Your wife can even do it. Give them the mandate. Because they have to be accountable to you. How did they use the money? They must write everything. Me, I don't spend anything. I don't. I give money to people who must explain how they used my money. Sometimes they must spend. You give them a cap. Beyond this, you must consult. So they call me and consult. You can put your cap at 20,000. Anything above 20,000 Uganda shillings, you must get an approval. It can be 3 steps: approval 1, approval 2, and approval 6. You initiate a system.
Now, many people enter farming hoping to make a profit, but profitability looks different at different scales. And that begs the question, when maize is managed as a business rather than a seasonal activity, what kind of returns can farmers realistically expect?
Teri kintu kibi nga kwebuza sente gye zaalaze. But I get money. Where does this money go? You know there is a big problem. Lastly, we assume we have arrived. You have only 100 acres, my brother. Calm down. Calm down. I was in Chiliandongo, Uganda here, and I found someone with 7,000 acres. I thought YP has the biggest maize in Uganda. I thought, until I went to Chiliandongo. That is how we have added the 800. We added so that we can be better. We can have more. Hey, actually, YPA does farm management for maize, but we only start with 100 acres and above. Because we are commercial agribusiness consultants, managers. So how will we manage a small acreage? Let me give you an example. If you have 100 acres of maize and you want YPA to manage the maize for you, we charge 40,000 per acre per month, per season. If you have less than 100 acres, we charge 100,000. That is times 2.5. You know why? It won't make money, because if you have, let's say, 50 acres times 100, ogwo buli mwezi otuwa million meka. Kati kubisa mwe miezi mukaga. You're going to give us around 30 million and you'll harvest about 45. Now what will that give you? 45 million. Uganda zikoze search. You don't have money. So survival mode is when you come and do anything below 100. Yes, for you below 100, it is not. Having 2 acres is not a problem, but remaining with 2 acres. Cut them. Having 2 acres, starting with 2 acres is not a problem. But the mere fact that you have had that 2 acres for 10 years, that is a big problem. Okonye. Actually, chibaita demotion goetaka kuza mu class yesokerwako. You need to improvise and grow. So, anyone who wants to break even, do 10 acres. Do 50 acres. You're breaking even. But anyone who wants to realize profit, anti banayi kasoli tumugobako 10. Koberengo oli musubuzi tugoba 10. Kati 10 wekiwerera obukadde 10 oba oguze kilo meka. So wetaaga okugula kilo nyingi so that you can make profit. Maize makes small profits. Small profits. From one stock, maybe you can get like 50, less than 50 shillings, maybe 10 shillings. So you must have many, just like Amazon, just like Microsoft, just like Apple. Every big company, they are making profits over volume, not over one product. Maganjo is producing 100 tons per day, 100 tons. So where will you get the 100 tons per day if you have 10 acres? So you see, it all comes back to having big things. If you want money in 3 years, 10 years, you do not start small. How do I start big when I have small? This is the answer. Get other small people, 10 small people, become one big person. YPA today is 18,000 members. We are one big person, and this is what we are doing. Kati bosanga tuguze ebyuma bino bichi. Okaka sente zijja era tuzikola. We will make money. My friend, we are going to make money. Uganda is going to become very sweet. Actually, for us, we are not looking at the oil. We are not looking at the oil. No, we are looking at the maize. Maize ogamba tuli ku mafuta ga muzeeyi. Aha. Tuli ku mafuta ga fegano. This is our fuel. Hey, afuga amafuta nafe tufuga kaso.
Growing maize is only half the business. The rest lies in knowing when to sell, where to sell, and how to preserve quality while waiting for the right opportunity. Ben shares how storage, timing, and market strategy can significantly influence the value farmers get from the very same crop.
Storage is one of the biggest problems that we face as farmers, especially maize farmers, because it is really very delicate. You see, this thing is standing tall and firm now, but if it dries, it becomes very weak. In that, even the maize on it, the corn on it, becomes heavier than itself, than the entire stock. So most probably, we are going to have this maize fall down and break. When it falls down before harvest, we have lost money. When it falls down, we have lost money. Already, remember, the maize is still in the garden, but it has fallen down. Now we have lost a lot of money here. Now, if you find someone who has a maize combined harvester, a maize combined harvester solves a lot of problems. Now, problems like the maize must dry fast before we take it, because we have to dry it. Maize combined harvester, when this thing turns yellow, the corn, this will turn yellow later, but the corn turns yellow first. So if it turns yellow before it is brown, we cut it. then we take to the dryer. You get my point? So when you have a dryer, you have silos, it becomes way easy for us to manage. Storage gives you power. If you have storage, you have a bargaining power. If the market is not ready to buy now, you tell them back off. But when you don't have where to keep, can you bargain with the mother in the labor ward? Muchala agenze kuzala, notandika okumutesiza oba ozaala enkya. No, ebisabyaze byagala kuzaala kati. There's no bargain. So maize from the garden has no storage, automatically the buyer must take at the price they wish because you have nowhere to put it. That is why I can vividly and openly tell you I've not sold my maize for the last 13 years below 1,300. Never. That's the cheapest I've sold is 1,300. But now I can sell 1,600, 700, even 2,000 sometimes. What will natunda bili chikumi, 2,100 Uganda shillings. Then also, marketing strategy. How do you position yourself? Who comes to buy? Who do you attract? You know, in life, we are flowers. The kind of scent that we release attracts the kind of insects that enjoy that kind of scent. So, if you want to walk with Obed Ben, what perfume do you wear? That will attract Obed Ben. My perfume is big acreage. If you have big acreage, you are my friend. My perfume is you want to join forces together, you are my friend. I don't sell 100 tons. No, don't come for 100 tons. I don't sell that. You want 10,000 tons? Come we talk. You want 50,000 tons? Come we talk. That is the kind of line I have positioned myself. Whoever comes in that line, they have the capacity, 1, to buy up front. 2, they can give me money for 6 months. They book me. Here I'm like, if you don't book in advance, you know I have a lot of people here coming for maize. So if you don't book in advance, my friend, they might take the maize. By the time you come back, the maize is gone. Then be like, kare, let's give you $10 million. Let's give you $1 million. Okay, you give me the money. The same money they have given me is what I used to plant the maize. They will take. Blow your trumpet. If you have 7,000 acres of maize, tell us. But you are a jakuja, jakuja. Even if you hide, it will come. Better if you don't know, if you're ignorant, you don't know how to do the taxes or you don't know how to get the market, ask. Find people to help. It is better you fight, you do things, they come your way, you fight them and win them and continue. But you can't work under fear and pressure. And these guys, how can Bukola disguise that is not rich? Can you disguise if you are Bukola that you are not rich? Mkakati nze sagala kulanga because kakati nja kweraga ngo wamanyi. No, you cannot conquer the world if you don't advertise. Advertise. Now, for example, we have been given 50,000 acres of maize. But did you know the proof I went with in Tanzania? My phone. I was like, YPA is a big farm there. We can do big things here if you give us land. Now look at my size. Look at my appearance. I have trouble explaining my body. You must use a lot of words to convince people you have some sense in you. You are like me. Oh, you know, Bugumba Gumba, you're telling people you're talking about billions. Are you okay? My phone was there to help me. It was the evidence in front of the big offices. Had I not gone with it, had I not had those videos posted.
As usual, valuable insights there from Ben. Now, we all ought to know that profitability in maize farming doesn't happen by chance. It is rather built through the many decisions farmers make before, during, and after the season. And because every farmer is working towards the same goal, a healthy crop and a rewarding harvest. Let us hear from our program sponsors, Bukola Chemical Industries Limited, as they share practical tips for getting the best out of your maize. After all, we are all about the bountiful harvest. A successful maize harvest starts with the right seed. Choose a quality variety that suits your area, rainfall pattern, and farming goals. Early maturing varieties are ideal for shorter rainy seasons and fodder production, while late maturing varieties are often preferred where farmers are targeting higher grain yields. Always use a certified seed. It gives your crop a stronger start and helps reduce the risk of major diseases such as maize lethal necrosis. Maize is a heavy feeder, so proper nutrition is essential. Apply between 50 and 100 kilograms of fertilizer per acre in split applications, and supplement with super green and microfood all crops foliar feeds to support grain filling, grain weight, and overall yield. Weeds compete directly with maize for nutrients, moisture, and sunlight, especially during the first 3 to 4 weeks after planting. For effective control, apply Metrazine Gold while weeds are still below the 5-leaf stage. It controls existing weeds and helps prevent new ones from emerging for up to 2 months. Pests such as fall armyworm and maize stalk borer can quickly reduce yields if left unchecked. Regularly inspect your field and take early action using dodiphenus to control and repel insect pests before they cause significant damage. For more information on maize production, integrated pest management, post-harvest handling, and the safe use of pesticides, contact Bukola Chemical Industries on 0800 300 803 or visit your nearest Bukola branch. Great tips from Bukola. Now, I trust you picked a great deal of leaves, especially our maize enthusiasts. We believe that access to information is one of the most powerful tools a farmer can have. And this year, Seeds of Gold is once again creating opportunities for farmers to learn directly from researchers, industry experts, and fellow practitioners with the official launch of the 2026 editions of the Seeds of Gold Farm Clinics. The event, which was held at the National Agriculture Research Organization, NARO, offices in Namulonge, was witnessed by researchers, development partners, private sector players, and farmers, all under one roof. From cutting-edge technologies to field-tested farming solutions, this initiative promises to continue connecting farmers directly with the knowledge and innovations that shape the future of agriculture in Uganda. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we launch 2026 Seeds of Gold Farm Clinic, my call to farmers and agribusiness owners is simple. Think beyond farming and think business. We leverage the research and innovation available through NARO, build networks and partnerships, adopt digital tools, invest in efficiency and productivity.
It goes without saying, friends, that agriculture is the backbone of Uganda's economy, contributing approximately 24% to our GDP and employing over 70% of our national workforce. When a prolonged drought strikes, when unpredictable rains wash away topsoil, or when pests devastate our crops, it's not just that the farmer who suffers. We must equip our farmers with the tools to adapt, to mitigate, and transition from survivalist subsistence farming to commercial value-adding agriculture. To our development partners, our scientists at NARO, and our commercial financial institutions, thank you for your unwavering commitment. And to the NMG Group, thank you for always delivering a message where it should be.
This year, the authority is happy to be partnering with the Nation Media Group in this edition of the Seeds of Gold Farms Clinic with the theme Climate Smart Farming for Bumper Harvests. As the Capital Markets Authority, we are squarely focused on ensuring that all our initiatives tie within the government of Uganda's tenfold growth program, which is to build our GDP from 50 billion, 500 billion US dollars And how are we doing this as authority? Initiatives like this provide us and our licensed entities a platform for them to provide funding as well as knowledge to grow their businesses.
As you heard, we have a serious research program here that works on rice, maize, and wheat. I want to highlight our work on wheat because this country spends billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars importing wheat for much cherished food items, including Rolex. So we'd like to develop wheat varieties that might be good for Rolex. But significantly, we are addressing the challenge of adaptation of wheat. Most of the wheat globally is grown in temperate environments, cold environments, the highlands. So as Narrow, we are developing wheat that can grow in the lowland areas, wheat that is heat and drought tolerant.
I want to join Narrow Director here to welcome you all to the launch of our 2026 Seeds of Gold Farm Clinics. Nation Media Group Uganda, through the Seeds of Gold platform, has done this for the past 13 years. And we remain committed to supporting agricultural transformation in Uganda by equipping farmers with practical knowledge, innovation, and solutions that drive productivity and profitability. For 2026, we shall go to Lira, Serere, Kabale, Fort Portal, and Masaka. I want to extend once again sincere appreciation to all our sponsors, because without you, we cannot do this. And to all our farmers, abalimi baffe bonna mwenna abali eyo, we encourage you to actively participate in our farm clinics when we say we are coming to your area. Come and see the new things that are being done. Come and see the innovations. Come and see the new practices that are going to help us all become better farmers. So as Nation Media Group Uganda, we remain committed to using our platforms to amplify agricultural transformation and to support national development priorities. So I thank you so much for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you all at our farm clinics across the country in 2026. For God and my country. Thank you.
So storage, marketing, and packaging. Nsibambye dibya mutere. Package well yourself. Package well your maize. You guys were there, were able to see what we did here at Kololo. Eh? All those people you saw, over 40,000 people were there. People from Zambia, people from Tanzania, Nigeria, all came simply because we were able to do what we love passionately, and this is where we are. We carried every information we got across any social media if it is in line with what we do, which is agribusiness. So the best information you can get here today is when you go and practice it. It is not best if you just keep it in your mind. Understood information makes you knowledgeable. Practiced knowledge makes you wise. Thank you for watching Obed Ben. Thank you for watching NTV Seeds of Gold. May God bless NTV for coming and visiting and looking for information. Of course, there are many farmers, but they had to look for the best, and here we are telling you the best information you could. So I salute you people, and I glorify the name, the name of the Lord for you being here in service and helping us access this information that is priceless. I personally have learned a lot from this show, so I recommend it for another person. The good thing they told me that even these shows are posted on YouTube. So go look out for this information and learn. Agribusiness is the way to go. Africa, I am repeating, Africa. It might take us many years to produce an iPhone or this is not iPhone, Samsung, like this Simanya it is folding, Simanya folding. It might take us a lot of time, but it is going to be very easy for us to produce maize that is nowhere. Very easy. So let's embrace agriculture, let's embrace agribusiness. So you can just watch and admire from a distance, or you can join us to Vimbe.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's show. Agriculture continues to evolve, and so do the opportunities within it. Whether you're farming on 1 acre or hectare, informed decisions remain your greatest asset. And here at NTV Seeds of Gold, our commitment is to keep bringing you practical knowledge. You know, real farmer experiences and expert insights that help turn potential into progress. We are proudly brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries Limited because, hey, we like the creme de la creme. And as is every weekend, we are utterly humbled to be at your service. I have been your host, Sheila Nawafu. See you again next week and have a good night.